I've been traveling for years now and met many people because of it, all kinds, locals and other travelers, men and women, couples, those with steady jobs, self-employed, even digital nomads, you name it. But throughout the years I've always noted a certain kind of man, even a certain kind of woman, that I've grown wary and suspicious of, the so-called passport bro, and the women who actually prey on them. I've never actually met someone who had openly called himself a passport bro, but would clearly be classed as one, for he is there for women, and sometimes they're really sex tourists in disguise. I've mentioned such people in my earlier videos, yet over time, have managed to discern these men very easily. Thailand is a major destination for them, but I've seen them elsewhere, in Eastern Europe and other, poorer parts of the world. And they're far from the people they claim to be on YouTube. It's not that I have anything against them, it's that I've met these people in real life, and seen them for what they really are. All their claims about finding a traditional wife, better women abroad, and the ease of it, is complete gibberish, hypocrisy actually. From what I saw, all of them have one thing in common: desperation and stupidity. It's so easy to spot them. They always chase women, always trying to befriend them, usually ignoring men, even jealous and insecure of other men actually. They come to these countries for women, and yet always give another reason for their travels, and their standards are quite low actually. Of course they try a lot harder if the woman is attractive, but my suspicion is that they barely have any contact with women back home, or at least, barely any success in getting what they want from them. Passport bros may make certain claims on the internet, but I've yet to see any follow it. They're just desperate and even petty. I've met all kinds from America, Western Europe, even Asian countries, and they all behave in the same way. And the reality is these men aren't successful with women, most of them remain single and just loiter around in desperation. Any method to make contact with women is applied, events found online is common, many can be found through Facebook, couch surfing, even language exchanges that blah blah does. I've been to them myself and seen these men. There was an event in Eastern Europe, which I attended early, and saw men there waiting around. It was fairly quiet, but then they quickly livened up when the women arrived. They genuinely aren't interested in the event either, because they never talk about it, or care to. It's just a front and the excuse to meet women, a common ruse for them. Still, you do get some that you can talk to and befriend, but the frauds are so easy to spot by the way they fawn over women and ignore you. I've even noticed some people that clearly are regulars at these events. Some of these men are very peculiar as well. I mentioned such people in other videos. Indeed, many cities have an expat community and I find out strange things about some of them. It's like they don't really have any friends back home or much of a social life either. Their mannerisms are quite strange, and the more I find out about them the more suspicious I get. Some could even be criminals on the run, and I've heard stories too. I've noticed these men don't tend to be very intelligent either. They're not very skilled or professional, usually an average income at best, quite dull, like the job they do, and even somewhat naive and ignorant. It's not just them either, but certain women that take advantage of them. These women are often regulars as well, and they usually turn up for attention, even spending their weekends at clubs and finding gullible men to prey on as well. Some have played me as well. They would approach and be friendly, even flirty for the evening, but then be mean and disrespectful if you ever see them again. As people come and go often in some cities, these women commonly flirt without any expectation or consequences in mind. It's just amusement for them for the moment. However, they do this constantly, especially those living in tourist cities, with numerous men, and you soon see a nasty side to them if you stick around. Many can be single mothers as well, and will usually keep that from you. A naive passport bro can easily be fooled by them, but they're actually quite trashy women, and can be quite spiteful. I suspected one had a personality disorder as well, as she deliberately started trying to hurt me, even make me jealous after encountering her a few times. Fortunately, I wasn't attached. She was ugly to me, but felt we could be friends. They can often already know if the passport bro is there for women as well and will just play and use you. Indeed, when a passport bro does get lucky and finds himself a girlfriend, the relationship is often quite short. Marriage does happen at times but ends in divorce. And there are plenty of stories of how costly the experience becomes, with these women taking as much as they can from their husbands, before, during and after the marriage. It's not that all international relationships end this way. I have seen people married for years, even with children, but I doubt if the man was a passport bro to begin with. It's usually because they were working, studying, or just living in the same city for some time and met through more typical means. Surprised as some of you may be, but the quality of the women I did see that partnered with a passport bro was generally pretty low, trashy women often, certainly not in their prime. Women of class and value generally don't sell themselves so cheaply, especially with such a man, and so easily, regardless of what country they're in. It disgusts me to see some of these passport bros channels here on YouTube as well. The internet is full of these people anyway, dating, lifestyle, even business gurus, but all you have to do is go to their websites and they're always offering advice, even coaching, at a price of course. And that's what it's really about. They claim to be so successful as well, and all you have to do is listen to them, pay them, and you'll have the same lifestyle as them. You're being taken for a ride, and those passport bros channels are no exception.